Hi there. Hi there. I'm late. I'm very sorry. I'm Clifford Bates, and this is the Friday live stream. I'm late, and you can see why a little bit because my pen exploded. I didn't realize my pen exploded. About just before I was about to go to debate, my wife says to me, "Your shirt is filled with," and I noticed my hands were like black, like this. I just came. I was teaching today. I was not teaching. I was at the university, and I had to wear my I always wear my short sleeves. I'm like, so I was at the university. We had exams, the master, BA students exams. In the morning, I came home. I had to wait some time. And I was sitting in here waiting, preparing to do this. And what happened? I noticed that all of a sudden my hands was getting black. And then I realized my shirt, oh my God, boy, I have these ballpoint pens and these roller balls. And what happened was it blew up. So I had like ink everywhere. My wife took the shirt off and she says, "Oh, that shirt is gone. You're never going to have it. It's not going to be." I said, we had a linguistic problem. My wife, no, there's no such thing as rubbing alcohol in Poland. Rubbing alcohol? No, any American or Brit will hear this. Rubbing alcohol. You know what I mean? Medicinal alcohol for you, like rubbing things and cleaning things. No. This doesn't exist in Poland. Oh, no. She said, "Oh, no, vodka. I'm going to use your vodka. I'm going to use your best alcohol." I go, "No, don't use alcohol. It's, vodka and even my wonderful, other alcohol I have, it's not high proof enough to clean anything." It's like, "What do you mean by that?" I go, "No, we're rubbing alcohol." So we got into a little argument, and I tried to explain and we just sat here, and then when I realized, oh my God, it's 5 already. No time to get a shirt, so you're gonna see me in my undershirt. Ooh. Right? Okay. So hi there, everyone. This is the Friday live stream. So today I'm in this because of disaster. Shirt ruined. Okay. Well, I hope my wife is going upstairs to clean it, but we'll see what happens. Today's topic. What is it about topic? I mean, what I do. I'm online teaching my class in America because I do that. That's what I make a little money so I can pay some of my American credit card stuff and things like that, pay my Social Security and things like this. But then I'm finishing up the semester. The students turn in their papers. I was a bad boy yesterday, 4th of July. Yesterday was 4th of July. I kind of like tried to do some work, but I was just okay. I was like, work, 4th of July. I was feeling kind of down. I was really down. I understood what was happening in England. So the English election happened, the parliamentary election, and I just dreaded the election because there was going to be a Labour victory. It was going to be a Labour victory. There's no doubt about it. Duvler's law. Britain is not a parliamentary. It is not a proportional representational system. It is first past the post, winner take all systems by single member district. So that's Duvler's law. This leads that there's going to be a majority party, a party that can create a majority will win. There's going to be basically 2 competitive parties. Okay, it's bipartyism, and that's the reality of British politics in that sense. That the dominant party is either going to be Labour or Conservative. And what happens is if neither can get a majority, then third parties are able to kind of help the leading party to get a majority parliamentary model. If there is no majority model, the third parties can be kingmakers, but they're not able to do anything, and it's very difficult for a third party in a race like this to be really effective. This is why I was kind of like depressed about this. And I'll talk about this later. But me, okay. What else today? One of the students I went and had to go early in the morning. Anyone knows me, morning, so like dead person, zombie. So my wife drove me to the school to do the things, and I had to bring my laptop, which is, over here, the laptop to school. I had to hook up the Wi-Fi to the thing. I had to pull the Wi-Fi up. The kids are sucking yours because we now grade by our computer. We used to have forms that we used to do. And the only reason why I brought the pen, because I thought maybe I have to sign something. Oops, maybe I should not have brought the pen, because the pen, and the mistake of the pen was leaving it open. And I forgot that they go through this. I'm getting old and senile. So yesterday was, like I said, 4th of July. I didn't really do recordings. I was kind of like, I had to be prepared. I had to wake up too early today. So I woke up. What else I'm doing? I'm supposed to be writing something. It's a disaster. I spent yesterday trying to write something, kind of edit something, and it was a complete disaster. I'm not going to make the deadline. I'm sorry. I'm not going to make the damn deadline for this paper that's due 15th. It's just crap, honestly. It's people say, why don't you submit it yourself? And I said, no, I can't do that. Part of me maybe wants to submit something else I've written. I think I'll submit it. And then it's like I still have to do my Aristotle's political anthropology, but I have some really good material for that, and I'll probably get that done during July and August. So I have about 40, not 40, but 32. I have about 30. Okay, no, it's 41 students. Probably 3 students didn't bother submitting any work. So I have about maybe 35 students. And I think 2 of them have already been graded because they had to get their defenses, their defense. They had to have their defense ready. So we had to get their grades in early. Voila. That's the magical disaster of the day. So I have to grade. I should have, the due date was yesterday. I kind of said the creation of the American Constitution turn date for their essays, their 2 essays they have remained doing, is the 4th of July. So I was going to give them an extra week. I said, okay, I'll give them the extra week. 4th of July will be the day. So what happened? I was dead. Honestly, the mood song for my day yesterday was Toby Keith's "Happy Birthday America." If anyone heard Toby Keith's famous classic song "Happy Birthday America," it's a very sad song. It was, I think, one of his last albums that he did before going off the air. It's the Two Pesos album. I don't remember the name. There's one. I think it may have been the last album he made before his cancer treatment, and kind of stopping doing performance and began cancer treatment. And he remember dying recently. In the past year, he died of his cancer. It's sad. That's no. I mean, he's not a young man, but he was not an old man either. So I mean, there's people older than him in country music still alive and well and producing songs, like George Strait and other ones. And even Alan Jackson. Okay, so I mean, so Toby was a song was my mood song for yesterday. Happy Birthday, America. It's a sad song about it's a sad state of what American condition that America is being. I mean, people saying, well, maybe you're happy that America is Trump's going to win because of this. You never know. You can't underestimate the fact that the whole Democratic leadership knew that Joe Biden was basically a senile goof, but that's better than Trump. That they did everything to help fortify using that nice happy term from Time magazine, fortify to stop Trump in 2020. And that basically the media refused to cover because a demented dementia case is better than Trump. I mean, they learned that case. The Democrats discovered that Biden, a demented Biden, is the perfect way, because that's how they basically had Ruth Gator Ginsburg. Dementia Ruth Gator Ginsburg. No, we can't let her. We can't have her resign. We can't let her go because she has to stay on. In fact, some Democrats now are saying, "Oh, maybe we should have had her gone earlier," But she refused to go because why? Like Joe Biden, the people who were propping up Ruth Gator Ginsburg, which were her liberal staff members who were writing her opinions for her, for the most part, were saying, "Okay, now let's keep this going. Let's keep this going. I try to keep this rocket show going as much as possible." And then when Scalia died, I think this was the moment that the Democrats thought, "Okay, Obama's going to get our liberal journalists." And no, because Republicans refused to play ball, so therefore this would lead to that Trump election was so important because Trump got one, then he got Ginsburg, and he got three Supreme Court justices, right? That is the reality. And they had to stop that because they know two more are going to be coming up. They got one left. They had Breyer, please resign. They forced Breyer out. Now they're doing the same. They hope to do the same thing with Sotomayor. Sotomayor, step down because you're senile. As Herbert, what was so funny? The clown show of the in the recent case regarding the presidential immunity. The three dissents are laughable. Sotomayor's dissent in the immunity case is hysterical. No constitutional reasoning at all. Oh my God! It was so bad that the majority opinion mocks the minority, the dissents. This is the world of the democratic world, that they were willing to keep people who are just completely fucked in the head because at least we can control them. At least they say the right thing. Okay. And what happens with, this, to me, this is the world a safe place because of Joe Biden being the leader of America? No one fears him. Come on. This is sad. And damn it, the media as any of the problems that we have in America now, it's the media is to blame because they betrayed their trust. The purpose of the reason why we have the First Amendment, that the free press should be free, is that the press is supposed to report the truth, report the things to the American people. And that the immediate, this is the New Deal lie. This is the great New Deal myth of the free press means a free people. Well, yeah, only if they're going to be honest. Or if they're not going to be honest, then they're going to be just pawns of the parties that do it. Then we don't trust the press. We should just treat the press as one form of propaganda as another form of propaganda. And I think this has been the problem was the New Deal world created a media myth, that created a media that established a kind of, we are the independent guardians of truth, justice, and the American way, Superman-like, right? Well, the problem with that is it's horse shit. And as everyone in the world knows, it's horse shit. That's what it was so obvious even in the back days. During, the media willingly covered up for the reality of FDR's polio. Okay, you can't let and FDR utilized, you brutally repressed any reporter who kind of leaked the truth. They were crushed, and the press went along with it. Why? Because he's our guy. He's our guy. If he, throws people in jail, he's one of us. He's our guy. So it's all right when our guy breaks law. When that other guy just thinks about breaking the law, no. Fascist. Go look at the campaign ads of 1944 against Dewey. When Dewey in 1944, when Dewey was running against FDR, the the nastiest, darkest campaign ads. Yeah, the Democrats did. This Democratic policy has always been Republicans are Nazis. That was what was said in 1945 or 44. That was repeated in 1946. It was reported in 1952 that, oh my God, that General Eisenhower, if you elect him, he's going to have a fascist regime in America. And, and the right-thinking intellectuals like Hannah Arendt, clearly Hannah Arendt, an intellectual, should know the difference between a real Nazi and Eisenhower. No, go read her letters to Mary McCarthy. Yeah. Oh my God! If FDR gets elected, we're going to be put in camps. Not FDR, I mean, if Eisenhower gets elected, we're going to be put in camps. This is going to be a military dictatorship. That certain community thinks always that there's a dictator, Nazi dictator. Populism and dictatorship is always like, oh my God, no. I mean, come on, this is the same thing. That's the only thing when the Democrats have nothing else. Their opponent is the enemy. He's the Nazi. Okay, so let's stop that. That the fact they let this guy be president, that because they were Trump's worse. Really? Okay, he's a convicted felon. Really? Convicted of basically what the Supreme Court just did. Oh, but that shows the Supreme Court cannot be trusted because they were just pawns of Trump. Really? Really? Come on. Okay, let's get some smelling salts and wake you up. This is silly. So that is, why I kind of was in a bad mood on the 4th of July. I mean, how can you celebrate? America's, the fact that this guy has the nuclear codes, that he's, that why the hell do we have American, the Russians kidnapped an American journalist? Imagine if the Russians tried doing that when Trump was in power. Well, I'm not going to be honest. If all these people who didn't conspire to fortify Trump, the media elite who fortified and the electoral committees to fortify against Trump, they have blood on their hands. They have the blood not only in, you name it, the Afghan withdrawal, how badly it was handled, the blood of the Ukrainians who had died because Russia would never have gone in there with Trump. Oh, but he was a Russian asset. Okay, if he was a Russian asset, Trump and was it when Obama's president and Biden vice president, you remember the famous reset button incident with Hillary Clinton? I remember it. You remember that mic moment between Obama and President Medvedev? I go tell Vladdy I can't help him right now because I'm going to be facing an election. So, after the election, I can be more flexible. Wink, 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 right? It was, under Obama that the Obama administration exercised Secretary of State Clinton sold the fucking Russians nuclear technology to help them improve their nuclear weapons. Sold them uranium, which then they sold to other clients. Wow, how's that? Hillary Clinton getting kickback all the way. So come on, this is, it was under Obama, that 2014 invasion of Crimea. Obama did not want to, we can send helmets and equipment. My God, it was under Trump that he sent lethal aid to the Ukrainians. And then when Biden gets elected, the first thing he does is disarm the Ukrainians, undo all the Trump stuff. I mean, everyone yelled impeachment when Trump wanted to make sure that things weren't being corruptly done. He put a hold on things. Oh, this is grounds for impeachment. Well, if it was grounds for impeachment for Trump, why isn't it grounds for impeachment when the first thing Biden does is cut off all military assistance when he got elected as president? In fact, almost a whole year before that. That was the big signal. And what else? Reconstitute undo all the Trump sanctions, undo all the stopping of the Russian, the energy deal of Nord Stream 2. Okay, Nord Stream 2. Really? And Trump is the Russian agent? Really? Oh, please, let's laugh on this. And oh my God. No, let's have that this guy he should not be president. And okay, really, he should 25th Amendment. Really, 25th Amendment. Not Trump. I'm talking about Biden. Biden is 20. Everyone screamed 25th Amendment when Trump was there, when there was no grounds to do it. Here, we got complete grounds to do 25th Amendment, but no one is doing it. Why? Because they get stuck with Camilla. But now people are saying, oh, we're going to have to get rid of it. Camilla. Really? I don't know who's worse. Who would be I mean, she's almost Hillary Clinton, a bad 3-level generated photocopy of a caricature of Hillary Clinton. Okay? She's like a Hillary Clinton wannabe who doesn't even have the capacity or intelligence of Hillary Clinton. We all know the story about if you know the history of Kamala Harris, and how she entered California politics in San Francisco with Mayor Willie Brown, on her knees, ready to please, part of the Poontangage, the patronage of Poontang that Willie Brown did, that led her to her first appointment in the California Attorney General's office, who then spent her time throwing the book in a very Clinton-esque manner, throwing African-American men in jail at high numbers to prove she was tough on crime. So when there was an opening in the California Senate race, eventually she because she was statewide officer, she was able to, in California at that time, it was a majority Democrats going to win for sure. And she became a senator. And what she accomplished? Nothing but just showing there up. And then when she ran for president my God, in 2000, she didn't even last anywhere to the primary. She dropped out very early. Biden, she called Biden a racist, she spoke the honesty, but then she was so honest after when she was lost, and they needed to have a person of color to support, Biden as VP. They said, "Hey, Camilla, you want to haul yourself some more? We'll give you a nice job. Get on your knees." And that she said, "Oh yes." Come on, this is really sad that our choice, that even at this point of time, we'd rather have a bimbo like Kamala Harris be our president. She's compass mentis. Well, is she? You ever hear her talk? And this is the fate of America. I want to just give me an alcohol drink, please. Oh, God, how could you vote? Anyone who's going to vote for a Democrat needs to put a gun. No, like I said, I can't say that because that would, you can't tell the truth what they should do. They should just stop it. They should not vote. If you're going to think about voting Democrat, do the world a favor. Don't. Stay home. I want to vote for a Democrat. No. If you know someone who's going to vote for a Democrat, stake their car keys. Or have them do a fill-in ballot and kind of help them fill the ballot out. Say, no, grandpa, that's the Democratic. That is the Democratic candidate there. Go, okay, grandpa. Okay, grandpa. Okay, grandma. Play a game book. Play the game book the Democrats do. Come on. Go to every community. Hey, Joe, go. Oh, come on. We'll help you fill your ballots out. We'll help you fill your mail-in ballots. Come fill them out. Get your, all you MAGA people. Go to your neighbors and say, you want to get a ballot filled out? I'll help you fill your ballot out. Come on, this is the Democratic policy. If every one of people who attended a rally and their friends went to their neighbors and kind of said, "You're not going to vote today. What? Did you going to get a mail-in ballot? Oh, I'll help you fill your mail-in ballot." Okay, this is Democratic politics 101. How do you win elections? But let's stop. Let's have our laugh for a second. Talk about July 4th again, about the British one. The British one was that they had the election on July 4th is kind of not a good symbol, really. The American Revolution. Oh, but why would the conservatives pick a revolutionary American Revolution? This is like, okay, there's going to be the idea that this is the American Revolution. I'm sorry, Kistama is not the American Revolution. It's more like the Russian Revolution. I have to agree completely, again, with David Starkey in his recent video release, where he kind of gave a discussion of why Stama was worse than Blair, and Stama is going to be a disaster. And then he made a couple shorts about don't vote for, this is going to be the Stasi. This is going to be the nature of the Stama regime is going to be the Stasi. And I'm going to think, what's his name? Hutchins, I forget his name. The British guy, former Trotsky, he was kind of, I forget his name, but Peter Hitchens. Peter Hitchens. They were like, he's saying, oh my God, we have to vote tactically. Well, okay, what happened? I'm going to scare you. This is the reality is the conservatives. The reality was they had two. The conservatives had the government by a few, a sizable number, but okay. Before, but they lost. The conservatives lost 246 seats, but they lost more than Labor gained. Usually, and I think this is a problem. I think, okay, we'll talk about this. Labor is coming with the idea that they won big, but no, they didn't win big. I think it's very much. I don't know. So therefore, Labor big. Lib Dems won big. They got a 60 plus. They got a 60 plus seat. And anyone, I'm going to say, I know a lot of people said to me, well, why don't you talk about reform? Reform had a good night. Yes and no. Reform got, I'm sorry, they won 4 seats. Yes, it's historic. Yes, they only had 1 seat ever before. What is it? Clydesdale, what's his name? With UKIP got 1 seat back before 2016. Then he eventually became, that candidate eventually became a Tory. Because he had a fight with Farage. But what is this? The Green Party and the Green Party. In other words, even they got a 4 plus seat win, right? Green had 1 candidate. Now they got 3 plus. Sinn Féin, Sinn Féin. Sinn Féin got more. Sinn Féin didn't get any change one way or another. They have 7 candidates. They have a Sinn Féin. got more seats than Reform did. That there's only four seats. Green Party. So Green, and actually Green got the Green improved vote. So therefore, this idea of the youth vote went split between Reform and Green and Labor. Okay, they didn't vote Labor; they voted Green. It was the middle class, the Tory middle class, who didn't want to vote. They were not going to vote. They knew they were going to lose. That's they threw their support with Lib Dem. So what happened? Well, I hate to say it, in many ways, the Tories lost big. It was a big blowout for Tories. This is one of the worst blowouts in history. Not as could have been worse. They still have 119 seats, but the majorities, the Lib Dems have a superwhelming majority. They don't need it. They don't need any. They can govern without restraint, and this is the danger of this: is that they're going to govern without restraint. They're going to keep Starmer. Go look at their platform. And their platform tells you everything what they're going to do. And it's going to get Blair on steroids. More Quangos, more NGOs, more attempt to. I mean, go watch David Starkey's video because I think he's absolutely right on what the Labor government is going to do, and they don't need support. That's the thing about this. You don't need any support. This is the danger of the conservatives. The conservatives fucked everyone, and they deserve to lose. But once they lose, you're fucked. This is going to be 1984. You're going to have nothing to stop parliamentary. No, trust me. All the labor rights who bemoan Boris Johnson's proroguing of Parliament, complained about oh my God, how dare you do these things? No, they're going to steamroll reform. They're going to get rid of any life peers or peers of the old aristocratic peers who are still there, who were hereditary peers who are still there in Parliament. They're going to be all gone. More political hacky is going to come in. They're going to create it. In fact, they're going to want to create a new chamber that's going to be regional. Therefore, it's going to always prevent. And that chamber is going to have veto over all. In other words, you need to have that chamber to get a majority control in order to ensure that any change of anything you want is going to be able to be passing it. And and because they're democratically elected, they can't be just merely. They have to. In other words, you have to get if they have enough votes, they can always prevent you, block it. It's going to ensure that no conservative government will be able to undo the crap that they've happened. England is lost. England is lost. You might have just throw your firework and say, "Okay, this is going to be airstrip 1 now." UK is going to become Insigno, George Orwell's 1984. The Starmer is a true believer who's going to unleash the police on dissenters, and there's not going to be you spoke wrong. Oh no, they're going to change the hate speech law. They're going to bring hate speech and these things. You've got this is. I mean, I'm reminding everyone says, well didn't our friend Winston Churchill kind of in 1945 badly claimed? Oh, go listen to Winston Churchill's speech that he gave in 1945, equivocating that the Labour Party was going to bring up political Gestapo, and everyone said that's not going to happen. That won't happen here. Sorry, it had happened. It was called COVID. Look how the British police arrests anyone who doesn't. They won't actually arrest the Palestinian guys who are destroying things and burning things. They won't arrest the people who are doing real violence or destruction. But if Tony Robinson or anyone like that shows up, they arrest them immediately. People who are no threats, they arrest, particularly if they represent the views of the society. Oh, that poor little girl that mentally, I think she had, and she talked about, you look like my aunt, the lesbian. You called me a lesbian? Arrest her! How dare she refers to my, in other words, police is arresting a girl because she said that the policeman looked like her lesbian aunt. How dare you label me as a lesbian? You're a wrong thing. You're going to go to jail. They start sending children to jail for that. You're fucked. You might as well have Joe Biden be your president. Your queen. I mean, I wish Charles had balls and would not use his last of his royal power, go down fighting and say, I'm sorry, no. I'm sorry, Mr. Stammer. I'm defending the old Constitution. I'm not recognizing your government. I'm not going to recognize any of your laws. I'm veto. You want to try to remove me? Okay, great. We'll just remove the monarchy. You might as well be dictator for life. You might as well be Cromwell. And the family is going to go off. So when the restoration happens, Willie can come in as the restoration, become King William the. What will he be? Will he be William the Sixth or William the Fifth? I think he'd be William the Fifth. I think William the Fourth. So William the Fifth, yay! Why? Because we'll get a restoration, maybe get rid of the Supreme Court, bring back the old parliamentary models, throw out the stupid parliamentary crap and restore the lords. Give us a restoration. A restoration. We need a restoration. Give England a restoration. You need a young king. The problem is, I don't think really King Willie is a cucked leftist. He's been, this is the problem. We need royal. If you're going to have a royal, all these people I know, we can't like democracy. Well, I'm sorry. The kings are no better. Kings are as easy to. Kings and aristocrats are as easy to co-opt than the masses. In fact, they're more easy to co-opt. Just look at the Church of England. Any of the aristocrats, you capture the leadership up top, then everything gets controlled. That's how it works. That's the church you capture. It's much more easier to co-opt the elite. This is why I disagree with AA. Elites are nothing. You can always co-opt an elite. This is Pareto's circularity of elites. What you need is an elite. Revolutions are just one group of elites killing out another group of elites. So what you need to do is you need to exterminate. I'm sorry. This is how revolution happens. Russian Revolution exterminated the elites of the autocratic regime, kept those that they could co-opt, but exterminated all the alternative things. They eliminated the other elites, the liberal elites. They exterminated those. They first killed the social democrats and the liberals before they killed the autocrats. The autocrats they can co-opt. And the ones that they were really a threat, they could eliminate for symbolic purposes. But all the other aristocratic, once they were controllable, they kept the army. They didn't undo the army. They didn't undo the military leadership. They co-opted it. And they utilized their elites in that sense. That's the nature of the revolution. So go study your revolution. Study your revolution sometimes. You'll see the reality. This is where, yes, there's always elites. There's always the cognitive situation. Yes. You need to have people talented. This is why, in many sense, Pareto's argument is the elites are not just, it's not going to be a match. If you ever, the idea is the problem is that, what happens when the elites become hegemonic? In that sense, there's no competing elites. And that's the problem. This is modern globalization. And the nature of globalization and higher education has created a homogenous elite network globally. And that's the threat in that sense. So England is lost. I'm not hoping out for England. I think it's going to be a bloodbath. I think it's going to be. Keith Stama makes Robespierre look like a. Starkey said that Keith Stama is a what is that a come on the my brain I mean Cromwell Cromwellian candidate a character. I'm sorry, no, at least Cromwell had limits. Stama is more Robespierre than anything else. And he has all the right people, the right thinking people with him on the Robespierre world track. In fact, there's a good French book. There's a book by, I forget, who wrote the Robespierre book? Oh, I have to go. I get the pee dance. I have the pee dance, and it's not nice, and I can't stop it. Ah, yes, Michel Gauchet, the Robespierre, the man who divides us the most. He has a fantastic. Gauchet was a very important person in terms of this. So let's talk about that in terms of why Robespierre is the thing. I think Keith Steinmeier and the people, the labor supporters, the women of police, the Starkey video does a great job. Go watch David Starkey's videos on this. This is why we should all be, not looking good. We should kind of be hoping up, we're going to, there's going to be a mass migration of any kind of sane person thinking out of England, because there's not going to be much left after the Stama years. That's why I think there's not going to be. I think you have to understand this. I think Keith Stama is this moronic and this stupid. He's a true believer, but he's a stupid believer. He doesn't understand. This is not 1990. This is not 1996. He doesn't have the same deep support. It looks. It's an illusion. He doesn't have enough good sense to realize that this was This was more an anti. This was much more anger at the Tories and the way they betrayed and the way they ruled and the way they violated all the trust of the British voter after that the British voter gave them their very strong government, right? And they just wasted it. They lied. They betrayed. That instead of the Johnson government did not do, and then they had the disasters of the three premiers, right? After Johnson, Truss, and then Sussex, and Sussex was the right guy. He was never should have been the prime minister. He was simply just a kind of a banker, part of the global reality. Who's we're just going to say to people one thing. They're going to vote for us anyway. This is the elite theory at work. No. And I think that the bloodbath was really aimed at the Tories, and I think the Tories deserved it. But the problem is, and this was not a vote for Labour. This was a vote against the Tories. But the problem is, Keith Stama is too stupid to understand the implication of this, because he has no okay. Yes, he'll have a parliamentary mandate. He will have a parliamentary mandate to do what he wants. But he has no real support. So the first power you get in here, you're going to have this, it's going to be a mirror image of what the fucking Tories did. Why? I mean, we have our majority. We can do whatever we want. That means we're going to ignore what we're going to do, not do what we promised people to do. Well, here's the case of we're going to do what we promised the people to do in our manifesto. But the people didn't vote for you because of your ideas. They voted for you because they wanted to punish the Tories. So what's going to happen? That means what? That means that I think keep Stammer. Again, I'm saying his wrong word. I'm sorry. I'm just tired. I've had a really crummy, lousy day. The Labor is going to pursue a policy that will not have the support. It's going to within less than a year, its support will disappear. They'll do some popular things, but they'll do enough that they will produce backfires. They will they will double down on net zero. They'll double down on all these environmental things. They'll let the police loose on anyone who's criticizing them. They'll pass hate speech laws. They'll do all this gender crap. They'll undo any restraint that the Tory government did show some restraint against the woke. They'll double down on the woke, and it'll go completely broke. It'll go broke, and it'll go crazy. BBC will become more, crazy. You think the BBC was bad now? You can just imagine when they're on full, when they start. Okay, no, you're not woke enough. You're not supporting our revolutionary cause. You give us a question that disagrees with. How dare you? You're not revolutionary enough. Okay, so I mean, this is going to be. I think the problem with the Labor government is that they have a government, but they have no mandate, and they're going to govern as though they have a real electoral mandate. I mean, not like they have electoral mandate, but they don't have a mandate from the people in real support. This is why their election was closer than they was. And this is why I would say, even though reform achieved nothing big, its margin against the Tories were too good. And that in a more proportional, I'm against proportional politics, proportional representation, because what it does, it only creates coalitions. And that coalitions are problematic because the people have no vote on them. They're done in secret deals. Most European parliamentary arrangement. This is what happens in Netherlands. This is why they prevented Gilter's party from getting any coalitions. The other parties weren't going to do it. They're going to do it on their terms, and it's going to be. In other words, the voters have no say on the coalition. There's not okay. We're gonna form this coalition, and therefore, voters, do you want to support this or not? No, there's no vote by the people on the coalition. It is the parliamentary leadership makes a deal with the other parliamentary leaders to form a majority. That's proportional representation right there in a get-go. And the only reason why British doesn't have, you have very few of this, is that Duvler law says that in the electoral system, you're going to have. So therefore, you have another problem in England. Why did you have coalitions in this sense? Well, it happened because of transition moments. In English history, you had transition moments. The decline of liberalism and the rise of Labour, right, against the Tories. And that led to a demise of the parties, and Liberal Party basically died, and it evolved in the merger of the New Democrats with the Democrats and Lib Dems, right? To kind of restore that, but they never were a competitor. They could become a kingmaker. In fact, the Labour Party would, in the 80s, always hoping that if they couldn't win, they can discredit this enough that they can form a coalition with the Lib Dems against the Tories. All right, and that was in the 80s, and that was all through the 80s. They hoped that in the early 90s. That was their best outcome. When Tony Blair gave them a new option, by what? What did Tony Blair do? He rhetorically abandoned the traditional interests and moved it to the urban middle class, and therefore that opened up new, powerful Southern constituencies that were traditionally Tory voters or Libs, liberal voters. and that what happened was that, oh my God, Blair transformed the party, but and became a majority party for the first time, since '46. And this was a big revolution in that moment. And he accomplished. Now he did it slowly. Now he didn't bring the revolution right away. He waited. Then he got his section. He won a re-election. Then he brought it. It was in the re-election that he brought the revolution forward. Okay, and increasingly slowed it down. He was not. Blair was more prudent in this than I think Keith Stammer will be. Stammer's a true believer. He's worst. He's more of a dogmatic ideologue, a joyless Robespierrean character who will, he won't, yes, he won't say anything, but then how he acts and how he pursues policies will do something that will shock the world in that sense. I think the new Labor government will, minute it attempts to do anything that it said it would do, will all of a sudden find itself grossly unpopular, and will stay. It will last the full term of Parliament because it will not concede. It will go out. Now, then, what will happen is will the voters punish them as much as that they punish the? Will the voters punish? In many ways, what happened was, we can say, the Brexit vote and the anger about the Brexit vote and the betrayal by both in other words, Johnson went out there and the Brexit voters, most of them, a significant number were from Labour constituencies, who never voted Tory, and they voted Tory as trust. That was lost. I think that was lost. That was lost for good. I don't think there's a comeback from it. I think the Tories will stay kind of a free market party, but it will become, but it won't ever be able to be national. And I think the problem here is that they would have to become kind of like Lib Dems, socially progressive. I mean, why be Lib Dems? Yeah, they're going to eventually, the existing voting constituency, I think, of that thing voted for Lib Dems anyways. So, and the other conservatives who would be card more conservative, Rees-Mogg's defeat is actually very telling. Rees-Mogg's defeat is very telling. He should have had that seat again, but he was defeated. And I think because many of the people who would have voted for him voted for reform, angry because he did not switch, did not, jump out. And I think that reform does play a moment. I think reform has the ability to become the successor of the Tory party, but it would require that the rank and file leadership of the Tories abandon the Tories. In other words, all those constituencies he lost, their constituency, in other words, the Tory gut seats, they need to now, the committees and those things have to basically should go over, but they're not going to. They're going to stay with the Tory leadership. That's because it's the way that you need to have the local elites. The local elites need to say, okay, I'm going to become reform. And they have to look at the voter. But the problem is when they're saying, oh, no, they're going to come back to us. No, I think that's gone. I think the Tories lost it, the way they blew it. I think, and that's the big problem, that the constituent, the people that, I actually blame Cameron. Cameron so fundamentally fucked the conservatives by his Blairite micromanaging of candidate selections, making sure there's enough minority or women in minority candidates, causing a situation where very conservative seats, they put these minorities, BIPOC and women candidates to run in those seats because they wanted to have a diverse party. They wanted to show, and therefore, what they ended up doing, the parliamentary conservatives became more like the liberal voting base rather than the real conservative the conservative voters that were electing them. They became a drift. The conservative voter was here. The majority of the Conservative Party was on this side. They went further left. And I think this is the shift in that sense. And I think they didn't understand that. And I think, this election was a repudiation of that move. I think that's what it is. I think this election is a repudiation of David Cameron and everything David Cameron did to the Conservative Party. And I would argue that this is going to be the end of that. And if they don't realize that, they're never going to get. But I think it's even if Starmer does what he does what he promises to do in his thing, then it's game over for. Therefore, right now, the conservatives and reform need to make a coalition to basically fuck over cause chaos. Operation Chaos. You need chaos in England. You need complete chaos. You need to have people going to jail. You need to make sure that every British citizen confronts the police and forces them to arrest the whole of England. In other words, call the bluff. Make Starmer do it. Make Starmer become the police state, the totalitarian police state that he wants, that he thinks Britain should be. Okay? Force him. And force him to do all the wrong moves. Well, that's it. We're at the hour. I'm tired. It's been a lousy day because of t-shirt. I got my t-shirt. What am my t-shirt on? I'm doing a live stream with my t-shirt. Tells you how bad this is. If you've not liked it, please hit the like button. It helps this video get things. It helps. This is the world we live in. I think I'm answered. Corlett says, James, I think I did your talk about the election. I did election video. This is more politics than I really like to do. Voila, that's it. Okay, so if you want to follow me on social media, the social media links are below. If you want to follow me on academic social media and check me out on social media, you can check the academic social media below that. And if you want to help me by contributing some money, I'm going to have to buy a couple new shirts in America. It would be nice if someone gave me some money. The guy sacrificed for you guys. Okay, that's hilarious. Okay, enough acting about this. Yeah, you can do so through Patreon, Subscribe Star, or buying one of my books. Those of you probably bought my books already, so you're going to buy new books. I hope all of you are new people, and anyone can get to say, hey, go watch that fat man on that YouTube, man. Go watch that fat man on my YouTube. He's very entertaining. Okay, and I try not to be. I'm doing the print still. We're finishing up the print, so I'm not near the halfway point maybe, but I have to do some more videos of that. So I'm going to end the stream on that thing. I'm posting right now. I'm doing 4 videos on my things during the week and doing a live stream on Friday. That's my schedule. And I need to have more time to write. I'm going to write because I'm going to be in trouble and I have a lynch mob after me for not getting ready. Okie dokie. Well, there. That's it. Happy post 4th of July. Happy live stream. Happy Friday. Happy weekend. Good day and bye-bye. Come check us out. Bye-bye.